guys, I thought I'd show you just the biggest sail that's going to go on a ship. This is the surrounding webbing that you put on. So, I'll show you. I always start on the bottom. Started here, work my way around, and in a few seconds you'll see speeded up version of stitching some of it up all the way around. You can see I'm just about to come along and finish it off, which you'll see in a few seconds. So, got it ready. Just going to bring my magnifier down because I like to look through my magnifier. I made comments before about my sausage fingers. It's not just sausage fingers, I mean, I have undiagnosed arthritis in my hands. I know this because my little finger locks up sometimes. So this is nice therapy if you're not into sewing. You soon will be. Become quite adept with the needle and thread. And you can see it's just a case of going along with it. I think this is called a running stitch, isn't it? You're just going round and round and round. So we're coming along towards where I started. You just have to make sure you catch enough of the material that it's not going to just pull out. And also you can do long stitches, but if you do long stitches you have to remember to pull on the material and the thread, this rope thing, to make sure you're not getting sort of wrinkled material. It's quite easy to do. You see there's a bit of wrinkle there as I'm coming up towards the end. But yeah, that's where I started. I had to look because this is what happens when you catch your thread every now and again, is that the thread pulls out the needle. So it's where the old needle thread has come in handy again. Pop a little. I like to have enough thread pulled through that in fact that is the first time that's happened on this sew. So pull enough through that you don't keep pulling out. So now what I do is, right, I'm just coming up now to where the first one started. So go past it, quite a few stitches past it in fact. And this time you pull in both threads. Try and keep your stitches fairly close together here, and it helps when you want it to lie down. So I think my wife's just coming in with a cup of coffee. Sounded like it. I'm just about at the end of this piece now. So she asked me if I wanted a thimble the other day because I must have put a needle in one of my fingers at least a dozen times that day. I think I've become more adept at it now. So you can see there, I've just overlapped it just a little bit. You won't see it too much. Let me see if I can show it. So a little bit of glue just to seal that knot. You don't see the glue either. Now what I also do is, oh yeah, to get the length I just put it against the sail side by side by side and then leave myself 2 or 3 inches more so that it's got room to stretch. I put some glue on this off bit. Just put a whole load of glue on my shirt bit. A little bit glue on there. Then grab a let that set before I try to wipe it off. So let that set, then I'll cut off that excess thread, and that's the big sail lined. Okay, back in a few seconds. Okay guys, back again. I'm just going to trim this off now where I put some glue on it. You can see by putting the glue on, you end up with a nice neat end. Sometimes that where the end you started with, if it's not very good, if it's frayed, I will glue that and snip that as well. But see, that's not too bad. So next bit is to put the webbing strips on, which hold the wind indicators. That's what I call them now. I don't know, it's probably got a proper name. I don't know what it is. But so this is all the strips I've got left. Now these only go on the front side of the sail, so you decide which is going to be your front, which is your back. Now what I normally do is I put this overlap at the back. You'll see what I mean by overlap. So 1, 2. I've got all the little bits left over from previous sails. Yeah, I've got three long ones left over. I'm hoping I'm going to have enough of this webbing, because what I did on the first sails, without realising it, I did it front and back. Now they only require it on the fronts. So like I said, you decide which is your front, which is the back. This to me is the back. So these are going to go on this side. And I've written on my desk here how far down they go. And it's 45 to the first one. That's millimeters. So what I just mark it with my ruler. Using a pencil, I just put a little thingy mark like that. Then 35 to the next one, so that's so from 45 plus 35 is 80, so that's there. Plus 35 to the next one. It's quite low down, but that's what it calls for. So do the same around the middle. So 45 plus 35 plus 35. Well, needs a little touch with a pencil so you can see where it is. I'll do it then along here. You'll see what I'm getting at in a second when I come to put the webbing in. Right, so doing one web at a time, because otherwise I'll just get totally confused. Now they show it to that 45 mil is to the top of this web. So I just put it roughly in, well, not roughly in place. Like that. Stretch it because it will stretch the sail as well. And then mark that where it's going to be cut. Cut it off. And then what I do is I pull out these loose threads. You don't want loose threads on it. So, unfortunately I can't do this bit within the camera range because my bench isn't all that big where I'm working on. Well, it is big, but it's not huge. I take some of this Gorilla Glue and I squirt it on the board like that, and then take the tape that I'm going to use, lay that out on the bench, and use my stick. I've got threads everywhere. Use lipstick like that to spread the glue along the webbing. You'll see what I'll get of it in a second. And then I'm doing that now because I'm going to stop for my lunch, and as soon as I've done these bits, and this will set while I'm having lunch. Then I'll come back and I'll put the wind indicators on. There must be a name for those. It's not wind indicators, but that's what they essentially are. They show the captain, I suppose, or whoever's in charge of setting the sails. Where the wind is. So just get this thread all the same way around. The web, I mean. Right. And that goes so it's put on. Try and get it as flat as you can. Let it stick and then come back to it later, and we'll put the, what you call it, the wind indicators in. Just use my blade to clean the excess glue off my bench. And then we'll do the next one. Okay, come back to you when they're all on. Right guys, that's the 3 webbing strips on at the spacing that they ask for. Don't be tempted to pull these threads once you've stuck them down, just nip them off. If you pull them, you can change the shape of the webbing. The next little job, I mean, it's a fiddly little thing. I'm hoping that's the last of the webbing. If it's not, I'm going to have to get some more from somewhere. Yeah, let them set. But what I use, my wife says when she's putting a needle through stiff material, she uses a cotton reel. She's done the cotton reel on there, so you've got the hole. I happen to have a nice little groove on my sanding block, and that's what I use. I put the needle where it needs to go in the middle of this webbing strip, and then I feed it through. Spot it with a bit of glue. You'll see that on the next part of the video, which for me won't be for about another hour. So I'll see you in a few seconds. Right, this has had time to set in. Don't worry about these little lifts on the corners. It's gonna happen. Okay, so we move on to trying to install the. Notice I say trying to install. You'll see why I say that. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll be here forever. Just go to a few so you can see. This is how I do it. Just nudge the camera a little bit there. Okay, so as I say, this is how I do it. You don't have to put any knots in it, obviously. So find this with your eyes. You can work it out. The centre of the web. Put the needle against it. Go over the slot, and you find it pushes through without any problem. Now I've been setting these to 14. I think they say 18. Just what I did on the first sail. I find 18 is quite long. So 14. I've got a little piece of wood here with my notch at 14 that I use when I come to cut it out. And you can see where the notch is, where the pencil mark is. So I give it a little bit extra. Doesn't need to be very much, but enough so that you can do that either side, and then the slightest little touch of glue on the outside like that. Now that glue, believe it or not, is enough to wick through onto the other side as well and hold it in position. Now, the only problem with doing that is that when you come to do the next one, you've got to make sure you don't put your thumb where the glue is. So I try to do it this way. Find the gap, like that. Keep my thumb away from the previous threads. I think you can see what I'm doing. Hold the thread in place. Cut the next one. Push it down to hold it in place. Alright, there's probably going to be quite a bit of wastage of thread, because what I do is I do all 3 rows like that, and then I go back with my little gauging stick and my scissors and cut them all off to the same length. Whether they look better longer or not, I'm not 100% sure. But you see how much easier it is to go through the material when you've got something solid underneath it, as opposed to just your thumb. Okay, it's a lot of up and down, you know, from the scissors, needle, cotton. But I think you'll agree the end result looks pretty good. And that's it. I'm going to sit and do all of them now, and I'll see you in a few seconds. Right guys, there, as you can see, all the wind locators installed on that side and on that side. Well, obviously they go right through, and they're all trimmed to the same length. Just taking the little bits, the little cut off bits out. You end up with a whole load of little cutting bits. Best thing to do is just throw them straight in the bin. I find the hardest thing to do is to get these to lie down in the line that you want them to lie in. But then I think it was haphazard like that, and makes them look more natural. Okay, the next piece is to join that sail to its yard, and then I'll make up a whole lot of wheels and what, not wheels, pulley blocks, these things, pulley blocks, and put them in the right place, front and back on this yard. But I think I'm going to make the mast hold thing up here with these little bits of wood. Can't get it out of the box. This thing. So it's these ones, 5 of these, and the little black bulbs and some backboard. I'll do that next, and then we'll see where we go from there. The sail is attached to the yard. I've moved the stitching onto the back side instead of the top. It's a lot easier to manage. And there's the little thing what ties the yard to the mast. That's included as well. Did that last night. Okay, I'll let that set up a bit, and then we'll attach it to these, I'll attach all these pulleys to the yard and the sail, and that'll get it ready for putting on the mast. See you in a few seconds. Right, you can see that all the little pulley blocks are on. I haven't trimmed the excess cottons off yet. I shall do that when the glue's had a time to set, which will be overnight for me. You'll see it in the next video when I'm putting it on the mast. But for now, that's it. If you like what I'm doing, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see a little icon will come up which shows you when it's a bell. If you click on the bell, you'll be told when there's new videos available on my site, which is normally Mondays and Thursday evenings. Okay, see you on the next one.